Hi there, Paulette Deckers with the Northwest Bridal Showcase. Today I'm here with Nikki Devlin. She is the Sales and Catering Manager at Golf Club at Echo Falls, and she has some really awesome tips for you girls about what you should know and the questions you should ask when you are searching for a venue. So Nikki, your first question is the things you must know when shopping for a venue. What is that?
So the first thing you have to know is what your budget and your guest count is. I have a lot of people that I've met with that are wonderful. They fall in love with the place, but there are 50, 60 people over, and I'm not going to crush you in like sardines. So you have to know if you can fit the venue and if you can afford it. The second thing you should probably know, are you a DIY bride or are you someone who wants an all-inclusive? You'll be looking at two different types of venues, especially in our Snohomish area here, which is one where everything's included, like our venue at Echo Falls. We come with your tables, chairs, linens, staff, people to set up, clean up, dance floor, all that. Or you'll come to something that is completely blank, where you'll bring in your own caterer, your own dishes, everything. And so they do end up being about pretty much the same when you put them together.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
So it's just, do you have more time or more money? What you want to do.
Oh, and that is such a great application nowadays, because there are so many girls who want to do things in the do-it-yourself realm, and I think that is absolutely a very important question from a venue standpoint, because some venues will let you do a lot of things and others will not.
Right, absolutely. Perfect. So make sure to see how much you can decorate when you come to a spot. A lot of people will allow candles, but only if they're in a container. You can bring in your own linens, but maybe only napkins, and so you just got to kind of check what the rules are.
Right, so great questions to ask. Okay, is that all you had on that particular topic?
The last thing I'd say, please hire a coordinator. Most sites, if you do choose an all-inclusive venue like ours, you will come with a coordinator, but you do need someone to help get you around the day of. I can't tell you how many things I've had happen that the bride will never know about, including a squished wedding cake, and so you want someone else to be taking care of that for you.
Well, and just, I think as a whole, I think the girls need to know that a lot of times on your wedding day, you're so overwhelmed with your pictures and your guests and making sure that everything is going smoothly. That's something that a wedding coordinator can help you with and kind of take that extra stress out of your very special day. And so I love that tip.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And then you have a list of questions that you say every girl must ask when shopping around for venues. What are those specific questions for the venues?
So the first thing you should ask them is how many events will be during your day. Some people, it matters to them if they're going to be the only one. Some people, they don't really care. There are some places that will churn you through, and you will be bride number 6 for the day, and you will be in and out, no extra time. So you want to decide if that's something that bothers you or if you want to be individual. It's all just kind of up to you. The next thing I would say is ask if you have to use their vendors. Most people will have a preferred list of vendors, but you don't necessarily have to use them. So make sure that you don't have to follow their caterer or their photographer, things like that.
Right, so some of the all-inclusive stuff versus additional add-ons or things that maybe like corkage fees or things like that they're not aware of.
Yes, always ask about that too. Those little things will add up. They'll charge about cake cutting fees, corkage fees, so a lot of times they can nickel and dime you, or they'll charge you for the champagne that you bought and then charge you per the glass and then charge you to open each bottle, and so you just got to make sure that people aren't doing that to you.
Right, there are a lot of extra hidden costs, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, so you definitely, as you are searching for your venue, you want to ask as many questions as possible about what is provided for that dollar amount and get that really finite before you sign on the dotted line. So your last tip for us are just overall tips for brides in general.
A few things I would say is to really test out if your venue's good, ask them where you can take photos. A really good manager of the spot will know some good photo spots and know their clients and know what looks good. Another thing you should do is always have a coordinator. Like I said, you should do that. And then I would say figure out how much your bar is. So your bar will end up being about 1/3 of your food and beverage budget.
Okay.
And so a lot of people start out, oh, I'm going to host the full thing all night, and then end up having to scale it down. So just be prepared that that is going to be a huge cost no matter where you go. You need to figure that out.
Yeah, beverages are one of those costs.
It's a touchy topic, yeah.
It is, and people, it was so interesting. I was just on a wedding website on Facebook, or not a website, but a wedding page on Facebook, and there was a discussion about hard alcohol at weddings and should it be allowed, and the responses from the brides and the vendors was really surprising to me, because you think it's a great idea, but quite honestly, it's extremely expensive, and the end result sometimes is just not what you're wanting for your very special wedding day. So I think that's a great tip. Beverage is something to think about and to plan ahead for, and maybe just keep it at a minimum. Maybe have your open bar for an hour or two of your reception, or maybe, you know, whatever.
No,
and then
that's dangerous. That's when people drink way too much.
Oh.
So we always recommend.
What do you recommend then?
So we say if you don't want people, if you're a little worried about them, do a beer and wine.
Right.
And then close it early, or close it during your peak time. So close it during your dinner, your dance, and your cake, so people are automatically shut off for a couple of times to sober up.
Okay.
And then if you want the party atmosphere, go for the full hosted bar, but make sure you cut that off at least an hour before time to go.
And then serve coffee perhaps, or,
Yes.
or water or some other
Something.
beverages, so
Yeah.
that they can kind of, you know, get ready to
That's
hit
when
the
your late
road,
night
right?
Snacks come in, which is always a fun addition, and then people kind of use it to clean up a little too.
Right, exactly. So question for you, for the girls, is there a liability in terms of if you do serve alcoholic beverages, are they liable should something happen after the wedding reception per se?
Mostly no. If you
Okay.
are in your backyard and you're serving alcohol, yes, you are. But if you have gotten a bartender or a liquor permit at all, then the person is liable. Like in our venue, our bartenders are responsible for people. So if they drink too much, that's our fault and comes back on Echo Falls, not the bride.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's a very important tip. So if you're doing a home wedding, it is important to know that you need a licensed bartender.
Yes.
And if you're at a facility, they most likely already have that insurance and that bartender in place for you.
Yep, exactly.
So, all right, Nikki, is there anything else you wanted to share with us today, or that's about it?
That's all. Good luck. Have fun shopping.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that the girls will find all these tips and information really helpful in planning their wedding. All right, thank you.